Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode. My name is Mr.Brightside, and on today's episode, we're going to be covering the series Salvage My Weapon, where we talk about the epic weapons of Infinite Warfare and whether or not they're worth your hard-earned salvage. So, the other day, I received the Volk Goliath in a mega supply drop opening that I did, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet because one of the downfalls of this weapon is that you don't get the Volk until level 42, and when I did the supply drop, I think I was just about to prestige, and then I didn't put it up yet, so sure enough I had to go through all the way back up to 42 to get it. But anyway, got it here, and let's go over this. The Volk is a fully automatic assault rifle, but with the Goliath it becomes a semi-automatic assault rifle. Deals increased damage but fires one bullet at a time, and reduced idle sway when aiming down sights. The advantage to the Volk is that originally it's a 3-shot kill, but the Goliath makes it a 2-shot kill up until a decently long range where it becomes 3 shots. But even at the longest distance, this gun stays at 3 shots, so it can be used as a long-range weapon. But for the most part, it is a 2-shot kill in most of the gunfights that I get into. Maybe a disadvantage / advantage, it depends on the player, is that I find that the more accurate your shot is, the better suited you are for this weapon. It does have a slow fire rate, but if you can hit your shots, you can kill someone very quickly. But if your accuracy needs improvement, this might not be the gun for you. And there's 2 reasons for that, really. Because of the slow fire rate, missing shots can cost you a second in real time, and that is a second you don't have in the majority of your gunfights. The second reason is the Goliath's hipfire is almost pointless. The accuracy is piss poor, and you will be lucky to kill someone without unloading your entire clip from just 10 to 15 feet away. It does struggle a lot. This gun is not a short-range weapon at all. I mean, you can win gunfights at short range, but you'll get outdueled even from all the other assault rifles in this game, for the most part, unless if you hit the first 2 shots. But anywhere from medium to long range, this weapon just tears them apart. It's definitely not for faster paced players. This is definitely a slower paced player weapon, and somebody that goes around just always covering from head glitches. You can definitely tear people apart on this. You can play it fast, but it's definitely more difficult to play this weapon as a fast-paced player. For the scope on the Goliath, I would suggest, me personally, I use an reload scope, but really it just depends on what scope you feel comfortable with. Honestly, I don't like the iron sight on this. It reminds me of the older Call of Duties of the AK-47, and I just preferably don't find that scope appealing. And for attachments, I would suggest using grip, quick draw, and either stock or fusion mag. And I would suggest using grip because using grip on this really makes the gun stay almost perfectly still. It almost does not move. It moves a little bit upwards, but really not that much. And then when you take grip off of this thing, the gun kicks and bounces incredibly. Now, quick draw, because you're going to be relying on your aim down sights. You really don't want to be hip firing this weapon. So the faster you can aim down sights, the better. And plus, the Volk aim down sights is really slow to begin with compared to the other assault rifles. So having quick draw on there really increases your chances of aiming down sights and killing them as fast as possible. And either stock or fusion mag. Fusion mag I'm still on the fence about, because when you put fusion mag on there, it only reloads the clip by an increased reload speed by 40%, maybe 45%. As you can see, when I got down to 6 bullets with the fusion mag, it took 5 seconds for it to reload, and then when I took the fusion mag off, it took a little bit over 8 seconds. So is it helping out that much? I'm not too sure. I still run fusion mag on it sometimes, but I think being able to sway back and forth with increased speed can win you some more gunfights. For perks for this weapon, I usually run Ghost, but on this class setup, I would suggest using Overkill, especially if you're using Phase Shift, because you get it every 60 seconds, so with Overkill, it becomes like 45 seconds instead, and you can really just keep cranking out that Phase Shift every like 30 seconds if you're getting kills left and right. Second perk, me personally, I use Scavenger just because if I get on a hot kill streak, I don't want to run out of bullets. So if I can just pick up an extra 100 bullets and not have to worry about where do I have to pick up my next weapon if I go on like a 7 or an 8 kill streak. I also, for perk 3, I run Dead Silence, but I run this with every class just because I have the headphones, and A, I don't want people to hear me, and B, when you wear a headset, it's kind of annoying to hear your own footsteps when you're trying to listen for enemy players. But if you don't have a headset, I would suggest using Marksman, just because you're going to be aiming down sights so many times with this weapon that if you get hit, you don't want your player to flinch. My overall rating of this weapon is probably a B-. I wouldn't suggest spending up for Salvage to get this weapon. I think there's a few other epic weapons that are a lot more fun to use and a lot more practical. But if you are lucky enough to get this in a supply drop opening, good for you. It is fun to use. I do see myself using this in multiplayer and Zombies in Spaceland. I'm kind of excited to test it out there. But anyway guys, I'm trying to reach 50 likes for this video, so please smash that like button for me. And don't forget to subscribe to see more of my content. I will catch you guys all later. Peace out.